Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you ready?
Yeah, well, I assumed it had already started. I was just going to go brain dead for the next 2 hours.
Oh, I see.
I'm not going to lie. I do sometimes have this weird temptation, and obviously I've never acted on it, but I've wondered when we start recording, like, how little I could get away with saying, just out of curiosity, like, how little I could contribute to the conversation and yet still have it move forward, like, whether that would be possible in an ever-ending struggle to, you know, stop myself talking too much. And I never get around to doing it.
What is up, guys, and welcome to the VisualWood podcast, episode number 38. 38 potatoes. We're on 38 right now.
Wasn't 38 last week?
No, I was 37,
No?
man.
Okay.
Why is it just blurring now?
It is blurring, man. Like, I was so unprepared for today's podcast. You were sort of unprepared as well, right? With the movie club?
Yeah, I watched it this morning. The
Yeah.
Land Before Time.
Yeah, like, man, I literally spent all week thinking, yeah, I'm going to watch Redline soon, and we'll be ready for the podcast, and all of a sudden it was like, oh, it's today already. Okay, I haven't watched Redline yet.
Yes, the week does blur for me as well. So it's just like I wake up, and then I'm doing stuff the whole day. I don't have any time.
Do you keep track of all of your streams on Twitch?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Do you know what's kind of interesting then? You sort of have a daily, well, I guess for however many days a week you're doing it, 4 days, right?
Yeah.
You have a daily record of what you did every day. So even if the week is blurring together for you, you can clearly say, oh no, yes, I did experience a Tuesday because this was the stream I did on that day. This was the day I had really itchy balls and I couldn't scratch them because I was on camera.
Right.
I've noticed you do wear trousers while you're streaming on Twitch.
Yeah, because I have to get up and, use the restroom every once in a while, and I don't want people seeing my butt,
Yeah, but no, it's a challenge that I'm now setting for you. You have to do it on Twitch. You can wear a top, wear your hat, everything is normal, right? But underneath, you can't be wearing anything and get away with a whole stream. And then next week on the podcast, you can announce which day it was. That'll get people hooked. They'll be watching your stream all week next week, waiting for it.
So I can see my boxers. Okay.
And just flash a bit of your leg at some point. Yeah,
Challenge accepted.
We did say we were going to return to challenges.
Yeah.
This isn't a challenge the audience can participate in or earn any gold on whatsoever. But it's still a good one.
Oh, but the audio adventure. Should we do this now? Did you record one?
No, I didn't get one. Oh no.
Yeah,
oh, no.
yeah, I have one. That's fine.
Oh my god. Okay.
That's fine. All right, I'm sending it to you in Skype right now.
Oh, you've surprised me.
Yes, I did. Yeah, you're like, oh, you thought like, oh, I was just tossing it to the side. I wouldn't remember. No. So someone commented. I don't know where. Was it on VisualWood or one of your videos?
It was on VisualWood.
VisualWood. Right.
Yeah.
So he said that he would like to see us record something in our daily life as an audio adventure, and the other person tried to guess what it was.
I think this is a brilliant idea. I was worried there because we were only transferring the file at a rate of 1 kilobyte a second, but I've got it now.
I feel like this podcast is turning into something amazing.
So I have to listen to this and guess what it is that you're doing.
Yes. So Go ahead. Turn up very loud because it's kind of low.
All right, I'm turning it up. Okay, here we go. We're at 200% here. Okay, it's 8 seconds long. What? Whoa. Let me replay that. Oh, what is that? What? Okay, you do this every day.
I've done it every day for this week.
For this week?
Yeah.
Why this week in particular?
Because it's part of a routine for my wife.
For your wife? Oh my god. I'm just playing this on loop in the background right now. Okay, I think you're cleaning something.
You think
I think maybe you're doing the dishes. Maybe you're washing a cup.
No.
Okay, how many guesses do I get?
I guess 3 is in order, right? 3?
Okay, 3 guesses. All right, am I in the right ballpark with the washing idea?
No.
Maybe it's not the dishes. This isn't you cleaning something.
No.
Okay, this starts to sound really dodgy now. This isn't you cleaning something. Are you drawing something?
No.
Damn it. Okay, all right. So then maybe it's got something to do with cooking. Maybe you're mixing something. Paint,
All right,
perhaps?
you're close now. Now you're in the right ballpark. Now you're. In the right
okay, yeah, because she does like a lot of arts and crafts stuff, right?
Well,
she did. I remember once she was going to the shops to sell a bunch of like arts and crafty type stuff. Do you remember?
Right, yeah. She makes jewelry, all sorts of stuff. She does crocheting. But this is food.
What?
All right.
Okay.
So this is what it is. All right. I made this new recipe. I showed it on people on stream. With the camera. It's basically I take pecans, almonds, sunflower seeds, put it inside. I like cereal. I love cereal. For clarification, I love cereal, right? And I can't eat cereal because of all the, it's processed and all that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to make my own, right? And I make it with nuts. Now this is still a lot of fats, but still it's healthier option to a lot of things, and it actually fills you for a little bowl of it. So pecans, almonds, and sunflower seeds. Put it in a bowl. Mix it. Then I take almond butter, which is what you're hearing me do.
Okay.
Almond butter. I take it out. So I'm mixing it. And to make sure it's all solid, and then I'm putting it inside of the pecan and almond and whatever. But I'll finish the recipe. But that's what you're hearing is the almond butter mixing. So that's I made it sound dodgy on purpose.
Oh, why? Why have you been doing it for your wife this week?
Okay, so I have to lay off too much fats, but she loves the recipe that I made. So she wants a snack because she's a administrator and a lead teacher at this like preppy preschool, like I said before. So she does both jobs. So she transfers from one school to the other sometimes on a daily basis. So when she's taking the train ride there, she gets a little hungry. She likes this as a snack because it actually fills her up a little bit without thinking of candy or any other unhealthy things that she can eat. So you can replace it. And this recipe it's to die for, my friend. It's probably one of the best things I've came up with. So
it doesn't sound like it tastes that nice. I've got to be honest. From the audio,
I haven't finished it. From the audio. All right. So after you mix in the almond butter, right, which is basically, because peanuts are not really nuts. Anyways, like it's you kind of blend almond butter together, roasted almond butter, and it kind of turns into this butter. So it's like straight up just regular almonds is what it is. So you take that, you roll it in there, and you make sure it's covered everything. Then you take some stevia. I use Truvia. That's the brand I use. I kind of like that the best. Spread it all around with also cinnamon and a little bit of coconut.
A bit of cheese in there, maybe?
A little bit of coconut. And then you mix it all together. You can, put it in a pan and roast it a little bit or whatever like that. Or put agave, some pure agave. Nah, not the pure one. The pure one tastes a little bit weird.
Wait.
Agave is like a syrupy taste. A syrup.
Okay.
A healthier syrup thing. But yeah, it's a healthier option. I guess... Now, maple syrup, when you get that grade A stuff, is expensive as hell. So, agave is a cheaper maple syrup, which is also healthier. It's still a lot of sugar and stuff, but yeah. Maintenance.
So you just say all these ingredients to me that I actually don't know what they are, but I assume they're just healthy substitutes for things that I do know what they are.
Well, I guess you can say. Well, the only thing that's actually being like processed, everything else is just natural stuff. Is the Truvia and the stevia. It comes from the plant or whatever. I guess you could make your own. I haven't really looked into the process of that. But yeah, it's a good recipe. That's it. That's our audio adventure for this time around.
I have a request, okay? Do you have any of your healthy stuff that keeps for a really long time?
Mostly when you're cooking stuff fresh, they kind of die early. You have to kind of shop every week. Yeah. You kind of have to shop every week. I think the peanuts would last a very long time.
Well, do peanuts last a long time?
Yeah, I eat mine's raw because it's better nutrients. But like,
ooh, Peanuts raw? That's disgusting.
Not peanuts, but nuts. Like pecans and all that. But yeah.
For the record, I don't see anything wrong with eating peanuts raw.
Right, exactly. I just don't eat peanuts. I just eat actual nuts. Anyways.
Whoa, I just wikied peanuts. All right, this might be kind of stupid. Without you doing it, where do you think peanuts come from?
I never really thought about that.
Yeah, right? You don't think about it. If you wiki it, you'll see a peanut plant. And you'll see that they're, like, in the roots of the plant.
All right. Right. I would guess that it's from some type of growth in the ground. I would guess, but that's a little bit... Wow, I got to see actually how they pick that out and everything.
Apparently, in other cultures, they're known as earth nuts, ground nuts, goba peas, monkey nuts, and pig nuts.
You're learning something every day.
There you go. So if anyone ever asks you what a goober pea is, yeah, every week. Thank you. Yeah, we always do a learning segment on something that you can. Do you have like those quiz machines in pubs where you know you have a bit to drink and then you and your friends go around and you're like, all right, yeah, we'll earn some money with this. It's like £2 or I don't know, whatever, $2 for you each go, and you go in there and it's like, do you know what Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is? That was exported to the States at one point. And it's like a machine for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but for people like punters in a pub. Have you ever used one of those?
No.
Oh, damn it. They're so good. They have all these crazy questions, and they would ask you stuff like, what is a goober pea? And if you get it right, and you get enough right, like with all your friends around, all your collective trivial knowledge, you might win like £5 out of the machine. But because you're all young and stupid and drunk, you don't really actually know that much anymore. Well, ever. And you don't get much money.
How many times can you play? Can you like make a lot of money? Just keep doing it.
No, well, you could play as many times as you've got money to throw in the machine, but they tend to be very, very expensive, and you have to get like a lot of questions right to earn your money back. But then it starts going up really quickly. It's like, oh man, yeah, I'll get two quid for getting this question right, and then I'll get a £5 and then a tenner.
Obscure questions that no one knows about.
Yeah, and then you've got like a 1 in 4 chance of getting it right every time, and you're like, because you're drunk, you're like, oh, it doesn't matter that we don't know, we'll just guess. It's 1 in 4. You use up your like 50-50 and you've got like half a shot at it. Oh god. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Great game.
All right. So, you put this first, iTunes reviews?
Oh yeah, okay. Well, this wasn't meant to be in any particular order. Last week, I said I'd read a review on iTunes. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I'd read a review. I've got iTunes. I installed iTunes for this, guys. I really don't like this software. It puts like that bonjour thing on your system and all this other rubbish that I really don't care about. But yeah, apparently we only have 3 written reviews. Is that true?
No. We have one more than that.
I only see 3. I see we've got 12 reviews total.
Right.
And everyone gave us 5 stars. So thank you very much to all of you lovely people.
Except for one guy.
On my screen, I only see the 12-star ratings.
Oh, okay, that's good then.
Yeah, but I only see 3 written reviews, so I'm gonna do one.
All right.
And I think I'm gonna pick this one because it's the funniest. All right.
All right.
A podcast I loved and enjoyed. Did not know all these podcasts were on iTunes. My iPhone already has 14 gigabytes of selfies. Going to be hard to manage to fit these on. That was from Tech Dimension, who says, amazing, 5 stars. Thank you very much.
Does everyone know your obsession of Let Me Take a Selfie, that song?
Let me take a selfie. I only saw that like a little while ago. I was well out of the loop. You're so much more in tune with internet stuff than me, and you hadn't seen that first.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've got that on you. I only heard about, you must experience this, where you're just talking with people and they're like, oh yeah, that thing, and they're all like laughing about it. And you're like, what? And they're like, oh, you don't know about this? This came out like last year. Like, that happens to me all the time. And I'm like, God damn it, I just don't keep up with these things. But there was like a viral video for people that don't know, a lot like, What Does the Fox Say? What was the one before that? With like Ron Weasley in the elevator. For God's sake. The huge one from Korea.
No,
come on, giant song from Korea. Oh,
you're talking about Gundam style, dude.
Yeah. You know, so like these stupid videos that end up going massively, massively viral. There was one that came out recently called Let Me Take a Selfie. And now I've contributed to the plague that is that getting more and more views. But yeah, it's like this vapid, whorish woman in a bathroom just chatting about random stuff in the club.
Oof.
And, yeah. Well, I'm sorry. I think the term was warranted. Hopefully that won't be a candidate for cutting later. But yeah.
Let's move on from that. Movie club.
Wait. Before movie club. Okay, just to remind everyone though, we'll read another review next week, so we leave more written reviews.
Yeah. It could be a thing. You could be featured here on the VisualWood. Just
like Tech Dimension was. Think about that. Tech Dimension currently has all these people listening to us say his name. That could be you. Tech Dimension. Wow, that sounds like it could be a movie. Speaking of movies, there you go. See, I got the segue in the end.
Oh, the segue. Okay, so all right. So I watched The Land Before Time. Now, Land Before Time was actually, I didn't know this. Executive producers from Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, right.
And George Lucas.
Yeah.
Holy crap. I didn't know this. Everyone else, everyone that's involved was like, oh, they kind of fell out, out into obscurity. So they, no one else. So I was looking up stuff about it, and I have an interesting story to tell. But let me just give a brief of what exactly Land Before Time is. It's like an old dinosaur movie before time itself. Basically it's about a story.
It's an animation, right?
It's an animation.
Really Disney-ish, but it's not Disney.
Yeah, it's Disney-ish, definitely. It's the animation, it's old. What in 1988 is when this came out. 1988. All right. So, this movie touches on racism.
Does it? All right, so that everyone knows, I recommended this to Matt last week. I remember it as being a fond childhood film that I used to watch, and I actually remember it scaring me. So I haven't seen it for years, so I gave it to Matt because I thought it would be a good film.
Okay. All right. This is 5 orphan dinosaurs travel the ruins of their world while grieving the loss of their families, banding together to face the odds of survival. That is what the description says, right? In the beginning, you meet the characters basically, being born. It seems like it was mating season and everyone's born all at the same time, right? And you see certain things start to develop, certain relationships where like, oh, we don't talk to long necks, don't talk to 3 horns. That's what they call it. Triceratops are 3 horns, and long necks, are those big long. I don't know the name for I forgot what it was called. Forgot already. Pterodactyls are called I don't know, long arms or something.
Oh yeah, so the Bronchiosauri are called
spike
long necks.
Oh, Bronchiosaur. Okay.
Yeah.
No, those are the big. Did you just look that up?
No, I may be completely wrong. I'm trying to look at it right now to see if I was right.
I thought that was the spiky creature. But anyways,
Bronchosaurus. No, that's a
saber-tooth.
God, I used to be so good at friggin' dinosaurs. Yeah.
Yeah, I went into a dinosaur phase back at Jurassic Park. I mean, Jurassic Park.
Bronchosaurus are every boy, really, if you think about it, has been through a dinosaur phase. Bronchosaurus are the long necks, yeah.
So, this is what I say it touches on racism a little bit. Is that they're like, Littlefoot, which is the long neck in there.
Stegosaurus is the spiky one.
Littlefoot is his name. He was playing with three horns, which is Sarah, douchebag Sarah. Oh my gosh, someone single-handedly.
Oh yeah, she's that annoying brat one, right?
The most annoying.
She's yellow.
Yeah, she is. She was playing with Littlefoot, and then her daddy was like, "No, we don't play with long necks," and the racial slur is flatheads.
Oh,
ooh, yeah, okay. Flatheads. Oh, flatheads. Yeah, we don't play with them. And the mom and Littlefoot was like, "Why don't we play with them, mother?" And because we kind of keep to ourselves. We don't talk to anyone. So all these different dinosaurs hook up together after this is
the whole thing is their home gets destroyed, right?
Yeah, no, there's a big earthquake. It's a big earthquake, and everything is split up. This is when the continents split up, I'm assuming.
Right, away from Pangaea into just continents.
Yeah, and it was a big earthquake. Everyone got split up. A lot of families got split up, but they also heard of this place called the Great Valley, right? And Littlefoot's mother told Littlefoot about the Great Valley, and all you have to do is follow the sun, the direction of the way the sun is going. Every time it goes down, you follow the red circle. He calls it the bright red circle instead of the sun. And that's the plot, basically. And without spoiling anything, Sarah's a douchebag, and she directs the story in a way that almost ruined the movie for me, but it kind of redeems itself.
Well, I can't remember these details. It's a 1988 film. Come on, give us some more light on it. What happens? I know some.
She's basically.
I know one big spoiler. You may as well say it.
No, don't say the spoilers.
It's a whole series of films, though. A spoiler for the first film.
All right, well, I'll elaborate a little bit more on the Sarah part. Like she's basically she has pride. She does everything by herself. She says, "Oh, Sabretooth, I can handle Sabretooth," but really she's like a little scaredy cat. Sabretooth is the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah, right.
Right? That keeps following them and that killed someone in the family.
Okay.
And yeah. Nice. So she acts like a douchebag, but they still like keep her around. I don't know, like not keep her around, but there's a certain point in the movie where Sarah and Littlefoot fight and they split apart, and everyone follows Sarah, even though Sarah treats everyone like crap. And
it's because she's spoiled. She's a brat.
And it kind of pissed me off a little bit, you know? But it's fine. It redeems itself later on. And there's certain points in the I gotta remember that these are kids. These are kid dinosaurs, and this is how it would work. It's kind of realistic in a certain point, and it's really dark. There's some dark scenes in there.
It is, right? It's a scare. I remember as a kid being scared by some of those scenes, like. They as far as I remember, they're like going through a wasteland, basically, right? Trying to get to the Great Valley, which is the only verdant green place around, right? Because of this earthquake and stuff.
Yeah.
And as they're traveling, there's like all these bones and stuff, aren't there? And like dead trees and craggy rocks and just all this horrifying stuff. And they're being hunted down by a Tyrannosaurus the entire way through the film, basically. Is that the plot?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I used to be so scared by that. But it ends happily with them in the Great Valley, right?
Yes.
Okay, and that's not too much of a spoiler. For people that...
It's a kid movie. There's not much you can spoil there.
See, and I mentioned this last podcast, there were sequels to this film. The sequels were not done by any big-name people like Steven Spielberg. They were, like, basically straight-to-video sequels, because this is around the time of VHS. Okay, no DVDs for us back then.
8 of them.
Yeah! 8 sequels, as far as I remember, and like the 8th one was literally just entirely a musical. But there were so many, and the 3rd was amazing, and it just kept going. And they were all based around their struggles in the Great Valley and stuff. And I remembered as a kid loving them all. Do you remember there's a character called Spike?
Yes.
Who doesn't like ever talk in the film?
Yep. Except later on. Later on.
Oh, does he? Well, I remember in one of the films that's not the first. In one of them,
no, not the first, not the first one. But I remember him talking in the later films because I watched all of these as a kid.
Because they go to like a misty world, don't they? At one point, it's like another Great Valley, but it's full of mist and stuff. There's all these scary plants and things. Do you remember that? And they try and like eat the dinosaurs. Oh my god! And there's like what's like the really little one? Isn't there like an annoying little one that's not
Ducky? Yeah,
Ducky,
which is who I'm gonna talk about now.
Oh, you're gonna go with like that horribly sad real story?
Yeah. Oh, you know about it.
I do. Do you want to tell the listeners?
Yes.
Dark part of the podcast?
Yes. This is gonna be the dark part. But also, it's kind of like the movie is kind of like Lion King a little bit. You know, with the whole
characters
mother
dying.
There's a circle of life in here. They mentioned the circle of life. The mother is always talking to Littlefoot and stuff like that. But anyways.
Oh yeah.
A little bit of that. So Judith, this is the actor for Ducky, right? She was she's pretty young. She
was 10 years old on the when she did the voice acting. The little girl, 10-year-old girl. She was 10 when she did the voice acting for the film.
No, she was 10 when she died.
Yeah, and the film came out in that same year. Okay, maybe she did it slightly earlier then.
Slightly earlier. Yeah,
she died the year of the release of the film, though.
All right, so this is what happened.
Why are we talking?
This is what happened. All right,
this is on you.
This is on me. I thought this was a good little trivia thing, though.
Good little.
All right,
okay,
I'll keep it short. I'll keep it short.
We're honoring her memory.
All right, we'll keep it short. Ducky, she was good. She was good in the movie.
This isn't about her quality as an actress.
All right, look, listen. She was a young. She was 5 years old, and in a skate park, right? Someone thought she was a 3-year-old child, gave her a commercial deal, and from there she spiraled into like over 100 commercials, right? She was like this child star that got into The Land Before Time. Mm-hmm. Now, what was happening is she was making over $100,000 a year. What was happening at home, though, is that she was her dad was a drunk and would come home and, you know, do stuff. And eventually something bad happened, and
not only did you drag us into the story, it's also an anticlimax.
Yeah. But we also have Land Before Time, so there you go. That's a short version.
Okay, it was a murder. This little girl died in a murder-suicide at the hands of her father, who killed her mother, killed her, and then killed himself.
Yeah.
The year that this film came out, and she was like a promising actress that was going to go places.
Yes.
Like, it's one of I actually think it's reasonable to talk about because it's one of those really horrible, depressing facts that you learn about. Like, given the context of this film as well, which is where she was sort of at her height, I would say, where most people know her from. You know, you say, oh, the voice actress of Ducky, that's the story that comes up. You know, she never really got to experience any of this because she was killed, and you know, it's just one of those horrible things that it's a big part of like internet culture, I'd say, at this point. You can't usually mention this film, I think, without this story coming up. She's called Judith Bardsey, if people want to look it up, and it is a very sad story. But yeah, there you go. You did it more just than I did. All right. So you want to give me a film about her life?
What? There's a film about her life, for real?
I wouldn't be surprised. She was in All Dogs Go to Heaven as well. Did you ever watch that?
Yes, of course.
That's such a good film. Oh my god, All Dogs Go to Heaven.
All right, Red Line. That's enough of Land Before Time.
No, you got to give me a movie though, for next week.
Oh. Well, after Red Line.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to give you your movie after Red Line, so then you can give me one. Okay. So my task was Red Line. Again, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked last week. Why did you want me to watch Red Line?
I was watching it. You don't like anime, it seems. So I wanted to give you an anime that had a really cool art style. And to keep you, if you got bored midway, because you seem to get bored midway, right? There was boobies. So there you go.
Yeah, okay. So before I watched this film, I did read a comment from someone somewhere. I don't think it was a VisualWood, but they were complaining. Did you link it to me? No.
I linked you a thread. I think I linked you a thread on what it was on a major site. Was it IGN? It was IGN. That someone says, I watched. Oh man, I shouldn't say this on the podcast. I watched.
Yeah, go for it. Go.
I watched hentai with my sister last night.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the heck? And this was like a red line like thread thing. So I don't know how I got here, but I got here somehow. I can't remember what I was looking up for red line.
You got the hentai. You were looking for hentai.
No, I was not. Jesus. Anyways, and because of what happened is everyone thought it was like a family friendly film, and I thought it was too because I didn't finish it. I didn't finish it when I told you watch Red Line, right? All of a sudden, in the middle of the movie, for no reason at all, boobs pop right out for one of the main characters. And you're like, and it doesn't pop up anywhere else on the film, just one time. One time for no reason.
Well, there are two other like sexy girls that are like basically not wearing anything, and they do that thing where they cross their legs and you flash their junk at you, basically. But they are wearing underwear as it goes on. But, like, so before I watched this movie, you'd linked me that. I also read another comment where someone was saying, I thought I was watching this lovely film just about racing, blah, 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 and all of a sudden there's all this nudity, and this is disgusting, disgraceful, why does this have to happen, blah, 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 blah. So I went into this movie this morning, may I remind everyone, I literally watched it just before we recorded. I went into this movie thinking, all right, okay, there are going to be boobs somewhere in the movie. And I'm not going to lie, okay, I'm really not this kind of person. Like, I wouldn't watch something just because there's boobs in it, right? But I did find myself slipping just a little bit. And one of the things that sustained me through the movie was the thought that two of the characters were going to get together and there'd be some, like, raucous sex scene. And I was like, okay, I'm quite interested in this. Maybe I'll see something. And then they go ahead and disappoint with it anyway, because it is, as you say, just randomly. Basically, there's a female character in the movie, ooh, and she's in her apartment. They have a scene where she's learning something about another character, and just, why not? Just for no reason, she's eating, like, strawberries, I think it is, out of a bowl while she's not wearing a top. And there's maybe 5 to 10 seconds of nipple on there, and that's it, and then it goes away. And I was like, man, why are there all these comments and stuff about this? One, it's kind of like, why is it even there? But, you know, it's not really offensive. Here's a question. Here's my question to you. Do you find that distasteful?
It depends. It depends on the scene. It depends on the movie. It depends on what the scene is trying to show the viewer.
Clearly, they were just trying to get a boob
I'm pretty sure a lot of you girls that watch this podcast, have your shirt off while you're home and in your underwear.
You think they were doing it for realism then?
No, I think they were doing it to grab audience.
Because they needed some boobs in there somewhere,
They just
right?
needed some boobs in there to keep people interested. I don't think it was needed here. I really don't think, because it's like, usually when you see boobs in an anime, there's a reason for it. No, that's a lie. That's a lie. I can't believe that came out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Usually it's all over the film instead of just one spot. Like, I feel like it just didn't make any sense. I could understand the two girl racers were, you know, they were that was their character. You know, there's always that character, it seems, in some of these places. But for her, I just didn't seem, it made the character seem like what are you trying to tell me here? Why are you showing me her breasts for? Is there a reason why you're showing me her breasts?
Did you notice how...
Are you like putting her, kind of stepping her down, or making her seem like, I don't know, like what is the director trying to tell me with showing me boobs about this character? When I thought this character was a really cool character, and I still do, it's just, why did you show me her boobs? Now, like, I don't know, I don't know.
Maybe the best you can take from it is that the director was just showing her with her shirt and bra off because, you know, it shouldn't be a big deal. You know, they're just boobs, whatever. You just have them on there. And by doing this, he seeps it into popular culture a little bit more, and slowly people stop getting so hysterical over it. You know, and I can see maybe that angle there. But yeah, to me, it felt kind of pointless. I will say, you just said you liked the character as well. Did you notice, though, how she, throughout the course of the movie, became less and less of a character and more of just an object of...
Yes.
She just became a damsel in distress with no quality to her.
Nothing. Like, it was downhill from there for her character.
It was literally like they just were like, screw it.
You know, like, she was a good character, and all of a sudden, boobs, object, nothing. Like, there was even an interesting story there, and I was like, what, why does this have to happen to women characters? Whatever. How did you enjoy the movie?
We're being so negative about it. I thought it was okay. What carried me mostly through it wasn't this, you know, thin shred of nudity in there. What carried me through it was the art style. I've got to be honest, you were mentioning this before. You were saying, oh, anime can make stuff look so cool, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of action in it. Long sequences of these races. I'll describe to people the plot. Basically, the idea is you've got... a guy who participates in races. The setting is a very futuristic fantasy setting. Loads of worlds. There's a world of magic casters, for example. There's a world of robots, which is mainly one of the key places where the movie takes place on. It's kind of very anime Star Wars-y, you know, this kind of universe. And there's a race that goes on called the Red Line. To qualify for the Red Line, you have to place at least reasonably well in the Yellow Line. That's where the movie starts. You've got this main character who has a reckless abandon with regard to his own life. He doesn't seem to fear death or care about any of that. But you know, he's got issues, sort of. And it's a very kind of cookie cutter. Okay, here's our hero. He's in the race. Will he win or not? You know, I won't spoil it for you guys. And there's some extra stuff in there as well about how the red line is taking place on this robot planet, and the people who are on the robot planet don't want the race to be there. It's sort of an underground racing society, even though it seems to be huge and have tons of money in it and mafia around it and stuff. So despite the fact they're not allowed on this planet and the military threaten to kill them if they come there, they still choose to host the red line on this planet. So you've got a bit of a war going on, fights happening. They keep introducing all these big new machines and things. There's like a section of the film where all of a sudden it's like, hey, well, this isn't a racing film anymore, it's like a mecha film, and there's like these giant monsters fighting one another and stuff. But yeah, the art style on it was really, really strong, and not because I was particularly interested throughout the many action sequences, but just the general way they shot a lot of the environments and character positions on the screen was just so good. Like even at the start, one of the characters is a bit bashed up, and a friend or associate of his comes in the room, and he like just drops a suitcase on the floor as a part of the scene. He just drops a suit, but the way they angle the shot and the sound of it clunking to the ground, it's just so good. It's so artistic and wonderful. It really, really is. It makes even the most mundane stuff look fantastic. They mix some weird stuff up as well. Did you notice they had like loads of different art styles going on?
Yeah, they
like
would change it up.
Matt described this to me as an anime film, so, you know, that conjures something to your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You've got some of the characters who are rendered and drawn in very sort of, you know, what you'd expect anime style. This girl we've been talking about, for example, you know, she's got the big eyes, she's got the clear lines outlining her character, she's got, you know, the crazy coloured hair, all the works. But then there's other characters, like at the start of the movie, it actually, to me, wasn't really recognisable as an anime at all. It was like, it was obviously a cartoon and an animated production, but it wasn't what I would associate at all. Like, it was a very distinct art style, and sometimes it would cut between the two. At one point in the movie, they like it's like a news report, and there's this family on a couch, and they're watching the red line or whatever, and it cuts to the family, and they look completely different. It looks like you're watching a totally different thing. It's like these randomly drawn. It's like, wait, why are they look completely different? And then even weirder than that, it cuts to them for like 2 seconds, and do you remember what the woman says?
No, I don't remember. I just remember laughing so hard about it, and I can't remember exactly what it was.
It cuts to this family, completely drawn completely different, and it is after an explosion has happened on the screen, and the woman says, "Oh, violence is the only thing that gets me hot anymore."
Yes,
and then it cuts away.
That's it. Yeah.
And you're like, "What is this? Why? Why did you put that in the movie? I didn't get it." Everything about it was as random as all hell, and I was like, "All right, you know, it was interesting at least."
The movie was meant to be outrageous and just for fun. It wasn't meant to be taken seriously. Not at all. You know?
Yeah. It was kind of interesting to me that they broke some like Western conventions when it comes to making films. Like, and that sounds like such an airy thing to say, but get this. You know how we watch a film and they put credits at the start, and it will be like produced by Walnut, blah, 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 CGI done by, you know, that's what we get with films at the start.
Yeah.
You've watched a lot of anime movies, do they always do this? In this movie, when it starts, they have an actual voiceover say, "This movie was directed by Takeo Miyamoto, blah, blah, blah." And then it moves on. Like, that's so weird to me. I was like, what the hell? They just said that out loud? Imagine if any Western film you've ever seen, there's some dude reading the words out loud as they come up on the screen. That was weird. Is that common for, like, anime?
Yeah, it happens sometimes. Kind of like games where, you know, it says the name of the company for the game.
Yeah, but then there's not someone
like a little jingle thing going on.
Yeah, well, I guess sometimes they do. But yeah, I mean, that's just one example. A lot of the films got weird stuff like this in it. And, you know, it's just doing interesting things. Like, one of the characters, like the mob boss, when he's talking, he's just constantly playing with his teeth all the time. So, like, it really blurs the way he talks. And then, like, you see him in a later scene, and he's just got, like, this big boobed woman, like, hanging over him, scantily dressed, and her hand's just constantly in his mouth, rubbing his teeth while he's having a conversation with someone. And I'm like, what is this? I don't understand. Is that a cultural thing? Like, you know, it's little things like that that made the film interesting.
Yeah. So overall, was it a good watch, or you could have went without it?
It was overall, I would say it was worth a watch, just because I don't want to be constantly negative about stuff. I've got to be honest with you, dude. I did get a little bit bored at the races. The end was dude. So much about this movie was just ridiculous. Do you remember how it ends?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this isn't a spoiler,
No, it is. It is. So,
but then, okay, all right, fine. If people watch it, just remember me saying this. The end is ridiculous. My reaction was like, okay, I'm going to try and reenact my reaction because it was just a second ago. I know what it was like. It was like, really? Really? And then the credits rolled, and I was like, wow. And then I started laughing my ass off because it was just so ridiculous.
Okay.
But
all right, a movie. Let's
I
move
got
on.
a movie. I got a movie for you.
Okay.
Okay. You have to watch Redline.
I already watched it. What are you?
No. You have to watch Redline.
The real
not
one?
Not the anime. The like new Redline that came out like this year. That looks terrible and has like a tiny wiki
You know what? You know what? All right, fine. You're gonna watch Lady in the Water.
Lady in the Water.
Lady in the Water.
I think I've heard of this.
All right.
Lady in the Water. What do you know about Lady in the Water?
It's by M. Night.
Oh, really? Is it like one of his new M. Night Shyamalan?
No, it's a long time ago.
2006. American fantasy thriller.
Ooh, I can't wait for you to watch that one. All right.
The film received overwhelmingly unfavorable reviews from critics.
Let's move on.
I hope you enjoy. I hope Redline's bad. You're probably gonna be like, "Oh, it was awesome, man! This is such an underdog film. Nobody knows about it. Totally gonna watch it." Your film's like about a disaster on a bus or something. I think. I'm just saying, you know.
Okay, what games have you been playing?
I've been playing. Same answer as always, but I've also been playing a little bit of Hearthstone because I've realised that there's certain things in Guild Wars 2 you do a lot of standing around for, and if you have a friend who plays the game, you can play them at random little matches while you're waiting. So, like, if you're doing world bosses, boom, game of Hearthstone. You know, AFK, auto-attack the Claw of Jormag, while top decking and wrecking.
Top decking and wrecking.
That's the way I've been doing it. I've been doing it on my NA account as well, which has, like, nothing unlocked, but it's been kind of fun. Aside from that, DDR, my Dance Dance Revolution pad is like breaking and it's really annoying me. The right thing is always held down. So I'm like doing all these hard songs and it's actually impossible for me to finish them unless I play perfectly. Like I play perfectly and it's just enough to offset the fact I can never press right anymore. I can only press right with like 33% accuracy. But it's just got really frustrating to me. So I sort of put it down a couple of days ago and I don't know when I'll get back to it, to be honest.
Do you wear pants while playing DDR?
It depends how much I've played it. I have stripped down to the boxes before. Because it's getting hot, dude. It's getting hot. I'm quite hot right now. And once the sweat gets going, yeah.
Hey now.
I have done that in just rolling in my boxes. And you got to have, like, the window open, the door open. Dude, and then you jump in a cold shower after it. Oh, it's beautiful. It's like you've just gone out for a jog or some shit. It's amazing.
Man, you probably made a lot of guys and girls hot right now.
Okay, well, whatever their image is, then there you go.
There you go.
You enjoy it, everybody.
What
about you? What have you been playing? Because you always have interesting answers.
All right, so I've been playing Dark Souls 2. Right.
Oh, that's not interesting.
And WildStar.
Oh, yeah. Snap, you were playing WildStar, weren't you?
Yeah, nice one.
Yeah, I saved it.
Well, the Dark Souls, everyone has seen the video by now. It's up on the channel. But that was my experience with Dark Souls. Dark Souls, only in Dark Souls, let me just say this. Only in Dark Souls will a knight be carried by a humongous griffin and jump down from the griffin and land on the floor, like, awesomely. Okay? Like,
and then proceed to try and kill you.
Yes. That's the only game that will do that. It's the only game. But anyways, WildStar. I know a lot of people want to hear this. A lot of people want to hear this. A lot of people don't
I heard you said it was really boring last week, and your opinion's invalid, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. People are like, oh my gosh, Matt, you only played to 10? I can't believe you said it's boring. You don't know what you're talking about. Blah, 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 blah. For a person that knows that people talk about Guild Wars 2 very badly, you know, it's unjustified that you say WildStar is boring in leveling. What do you mean? WildStar leveling is boring to me. It doesn't mean it's boring to everybody else. Calm down with all that craziness, guys. And I even said it's all about end game. It's not about the leveling. So I'm gonna try to get past that. But anyways, I went a little bit farther. Yeah. I'm snapping my fingers right now. That's right, girl. All right. Anyways, I got a mount. I got a mount and I got housing now. And I played a little bit.
What level is this?
This is level 16, 17, almost 17, roaming around in the newer areas now. I progressed past the level 10 stuff because I've been doing a bunch of different characters trying to figure out what I like. And I do like the Stalker, but I feel like I want to play a higher skill cap class.
Talk to me about what the Stalker is.
Stalker is basically the thief of this game, but it's nothing like Guild Wars 2. It's not like, like stealthing every 2 seconds and all that crazy OP crap. But you can be, all right, in WildStar you can be 2 things. You can be either damage healer or damage tank, right? Each class has different one. Engineer is damage tank. Stalker is damage tank. Warrior is damage tank. Then you have Esper, which is like the mage, like cool spells thing, which is damage healer. Gunslinger, you obviously know what that is damage healer. And what's the last one? I don't know. I forgot. I totally forgot. I'm blanking out what the last one is. Then the medic is also a damage healer. Each of them have like different ways you can build it and stuff like that. So it has it that way. So if you're missing a tank, you can roll a tank easy just by switching your skills right in the UI right there when you're in the middle of a dungeon and everything like that. Kind of like what Guild Wars 2 is doing now. And you could do that with all the classes. So you always have a healer, you always have a tank there, because a lot of the damage dealers also have healing abilities.
How are you finding it returning to a game with the Trinity?
I like it. I actually like it. Reason why, it's a little bit different here because you can do hybrids and stuff like that, and leans itself to interesting builds. Reason why, yes, it's kind of this, like Guild Wars 2, right? It doesn't have a Trinity, right? It's more about skill, and what's like meta right now is Zerker builds, right? You just go there and you still beat up on the boss. What the difference here is that here in WildStar, at least you're dodging telegraphs. You're doing a lot more. You're doing skill shots most of the time, depending on what class you're doing, and you don't have to target, which is, I'm actually quite happy that I don't have to target. Some abilities you have to target people, but most of the abilities are all skill shots, and all you have to do is worry about that they're inside the line of your telegraph. You don't have to worry about targeting this guy when there's so much going on in the screen, which leans better combat when it comes down to a bunch of people in your face. War plots and stuff like that.
I was wondering as well, like one of the things everyone likes about WildStar is the many ground target stuff. Is it too cluttered for you? Like how busy is a WildStar combat scene compared to a GW2, compared to something much more clean?
Okay. GW2 is kind of the same. It's not the same thing. It's, you have to watch out for animations, right? In GW2. And even for the worm, they add telegraphs because there's no way for you to see anything if all these skills are flying all over the place.
Those telegraphs are on all the world bosses now, by the way. All of them have big orange
because they need to. Now, transfer to WildStar. Now you can see everything to dodge out of the way. The telegraphs get harder and harder as you level up. And I've looked up a lot of dungeon, a lot of raids, and a lot of war plots. And yes, it does get hectic in war plots with all this crazy, telegraphs and everything like that. It will be hard to organize everything. But for PvP, I don't see it as clutter, in my opinion. I feel like I'll be able to see everything that's going on. You can turn these telegraphs off. You can lower the intensity of these telegraphs as well. So you don't necessarily have to have telegraphs. Now, the telegraphs get crazier. Have you ever seen... I guess the easiest video would be the raid WildStar. I should have let you watch it before I started talking about it. There's a new dev speak on WildStar about raids, and you see a lot of the advanced telegraphs where it kind of changes. The graphic kind of changes, and it changes the way, like, it kind of confuses you. Like, okay, no, I have to stand here. No, I have to stand here. No, I have to stand here. And it tells you exactly where to stand. And even then, it doesn't necessarily make it easy. It actually just tells you what you're doing wrong. Okay, I need to make sure that I'm standing at the right place. Oh, this telegraph is following me. I need to go away from my teammates and not blow everyone up. Kind of
It sounds a lot like bullet hells. Is that sort of a really apt
It kind of has that feel to it. Yeah, that kind of has that feel to it. Yeah, that's one that I definitely thought about when I was playing a lot. I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Now, when it comes down to the leveling, I think leveling is still kind of meh. Yeah, it has gotten a little bit better as you go to different areas, but most of it is kind of boring, and then you reach something that's really cool. I think
it's the mount.
Yeah, it's like everything, killing things, filler. No. Actually, like interesting quests, like one that you change into a creature, one that you're driving a motorcycle outside of a blowing up tunnel thing. There's one where you're shooting water to heal, like shooting water to put down fires. There's one where you're there's a couple. There's one where you're doing like a Guitar Hero thing. There's a lot of different stuff. Like it's a big variety, And one of the quests I like a lot was you took it was called I forgot what it was called, a steady transporter or something like that. Basically, you took a ride to space to do this mini dungeon. And it had its own like event thing and whatever, like you had to protect the supplies from these creatures that are taking it away and stuff like that. And you went into space, and it allows itself to do really cool stuff. And then you get outside of the ship, and then you're floating. You have a helmet on, and you're floating in the air. And you can still do all your skills. And when you go underwater, by the way, you still have your same skills. Nothing changes when you go underwater like Guild Wars 2. So it's every time you go about that. Yeah, when you go into different areas, this stuff happens. It adds some good variety.
Like? So like in generally exploring Nexus, how does it is it fun to actually be going to these different areas just because of the chance of that new stuff, or is there way too much generic? I mean, you're saying you're still sort of bored by the leveling. What's the boring part?
It's because, it's kind of like how WoW was with traditional questing, where you get a bunch of quests, you go out there and you kill a bunch of stuff, and you come back and you turn it all in. Except for in WildStar, you can just click the communicator and turn in all your quests, so you can keep being out there killing stuff. That's the difference.
What that's like?
Yeah, so that's I like Guild Wars 2's leveling better. I like Guild Wars 2's leveling where it's a bunch of events and stuff like that. Even though I feel like the events are too little now, you barely see them right now. I still like the experience better. The hearts is kind of the same thing, if to be honest, hearts are kind of the same thing. Feeding cows, blah blah. You're doing something. You're kill this, kill that, whatever.
They will become cookie cutter. You're right.
Yeah, so it's kind of the same thing. The thing that changes that is the events, which are good. I like the events. I just wish there were more, just like how it was at launch. At launch, probably the best leveling experience I've ever had in any MMO ever, and it'll be hard to really change that. Launch Guild Wars 2. For this one, I enjoy it. It takes a little bit long to level. I've maybe because I'm just not doing it right, and I'm just, there's a certain way you should level properly. I heard someone on Twitter telling me I should always take a quest that's above my level so I can get the optimum XP, and try to skip all this other crap, because there's a lot of quests that you get, a lot of tasks, and a lot of depending on what path you choose, you have different paths. You have the soldier, which is basically you go there and you protect stuff and you kill stuff. That's what you do as a soldier. It's very straightforward stuff. Then you have the explorer, which leads you to explore different parts of the map, jumping puzzles.
As well, right?
Jumping puzzles. There's a scientist that you go to different labs and stuff, and different like caves, and I don't know. A settler Settler is basically you build stuff to give everyone buffs. And I think you also build taxis as well in the lower level areas. I don't know if that works in the end game as well. I haven't got there yet. But, there's different things, different paths, and different things you can choose. And then I got to the mounts and housing. Boy, do I miss mounts. I miss mounts a lot. Yeah, it's really cool going around in the world, looking through the world, and having a nice mount to, move a little bit faster. I miss that. Yes, I would love it in Guild Wars 2. Reason why is because I like the world in Guild Wars 2 a lot better than in WildStar.
How are the worlds? This is not on the mount topic, but how are the sort of is? How big is the world like compared to GWT?
Huge. It's all one big map.
Oh, okay. No loading screens. None of that.
Well, there's some loading screens. From the beginning areas, like I think like probably like, what was it, 5? Once you get out of the tutorial area, from 5 to like all the way. Yeah, I guess there isn't loading unless you're going inside of an instance, and the instance loads pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no really loading into different areas. All of it's open world, so you can ride a mount from one end to the other. You can have races if you want. Yeah, it's all open world, so you can have open world PvP as well. It's different servers, and you could toggle on PvP if you want as well. In the open world. So the world, yes, the world is very good looking. I like the art style. I like the cartoony style of it. I wish I could customize my character a little bit better. I heard that you can customize a little bit more, but the options, they took it away. The bone structure of your character, I don't know. But there's a lot of customize. Yeah, you could customize your mounts. You could customize all of your housing. Did you ever watch the video about the skate park? Someone made a skate park with their hoverboard in their housing, and like the hoverboard mount is actually very like skateboardy like, so it actually seemed like he was doing a lot of tricks and stuff. When I'll show you the video after.
I'm already YouTubing it right now.
Yeah, there's a skate park.
Yeah,
and it's pretty cool. Like that's the stuff that you can do with your customizing. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually more interested in WildStar now. I've actually pre-ordered it. I'm like, okay, I'll give this a shot. If anything, it'll make me sound intelligent when I talk about it. It's like, okay, yeah, I've got to end game. Yeah, this is how much gold you need to make in order to pay your subscription for free. Because I know that's what people think about. People,
they're
like, oh, I don't want to pay a subscription fee because blah 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 blah. All right. Then you can pay for your own. So I'll be able to say, okay, it doesn't take that long.
Viable?
It's actually viable to actually get this. Some games have that, but really it's easier just to pay $15 a month. It depends on how much you play, right? There's some people who are hardcore and they play every single day. Those guys are probably going to be able to pay for the subscription fee using gold, right? Or they're really good at trading post or whatever like that. And then you have those people who play 2 hours, 3 hours a day to do raids or whatever because they find that fun or whatever, and they play all day on the weekends. Some people have a schedule like that. Those people are probably might barely just get that. Maybe I don't know. But yeah, so that is my experience with WildStar.
How far away? You're saying a lot that like end game is really important. How far away from end game do you think you are at this point?
The cap is 50.
And
I'm at 15 with one character.
Okay. And how many hours is that?
It took me 6 hours to get from level 11 to level 16.
Interesting. Wow. Okay. Do you think though maybe this is because you're not doing the quest efficiently?
Probably.
Right.
Because I like to level very quickly, so I go through the quest very fast. I feel like maybe I'm doing tasks that don't give as much XP as just moving along with the world or zone story, because they split them up into zone stories, tasks, and then your path events,
quests and stuff.
So there's a bunch of them. You don't have to do all of them. So
how's the crafting?
The crafting is basically you gather materials. I don't know. I've barely touched it, but I went through a lot of the tutorials, and basically you get items, and then you craft an item. I don't know how complicated it gets later on. I know there's recipes, I know there's stuff like that, but I haven't dived too much in it. So
okay,
yeah. So there you go. There's I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna see what it holds. And I wanted to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You're mostly you play other games sometimes. Sometimes. Mostly you're all Guild Wars 2, right? How do you feel of playing Guild Wars 2 but playing other games? How viable is that, do you think? Like, I think we've talked about this already.
See, here's the thing with me as a person, just as a person in general. If I'm enjoying something, if I'm enthused about something, I sort of go crazy with it, like, and I spend all my time on it. Like, I don't think I can ever really pinpoint a time where I've been, like, wholly dedicated to two things at once. Well, okay, you can't be, but, you know, like, if I start playing WildStar and I start enjoying it, and it sounds like there's a lot I would enjoy about it. There are a lot of the hardcore elements on that game. The Guild Wars 2 just doesn't touch it by a long, wide margin. And I haven't experienced a true, like, experience a new world and go and level up and stuff, like, for a long time. Even Guild Wars 2, like, I already knew that universe. I'd absorbed tons of information about it before I went into it. So, like, there really wasn't that much there that surprised me and interested me, like, from a beginner's perspective. So, like, I am craving that a bit. And the thing is, I think if I played WildStar, I'd be, like, hardcore WildStar all the time. Like, a lot of my goals in Guild Wars 2 right now would go right out the window. I just know myself. I know that the second I started playing WildStar, I wouldn't care about my infusions anymore. I wouldn't care about making a new character once I've got them. I wouldn't care about, you know, experiencing World versus World stuff. I just wouldn't care. And I would just be playing WildStar. I'd be coming on this podcast, not that it'd necessarily be a bad thing, but I'd be coming on this and just chatting your ear off about WildStar all the time. So, like, for me, I don't know.
Yeah,
that's why it's such a big decision.
Because I feel like I want to know what everyone else has to say. I know some of them have they watch it and they don't play Guild Wars 2 as much as they used to. They kind of wait for things to come out and they play other games. So I want to see how many of you play Guild Wars 2 on the side instead of it being your main game. I know a lot of you have it as your main game, but also a lot of you have it as your side game.
More have got to have it as a side game at this point. And they really do.
I think so, because a lot of people, like, tell me that. Like, oh, yeah, I just watch you, but, you know, I log in Guild Wars 2, you know, do some dungeons with some friends, and that's pretty much it. And I'm like, oh, okay. And, you know, so I really want to know how many people are there. So leave me a comment, and trust me, I read them all. So go ahead and leave me a comment, and I want to see. I want to tally up, see how many people they are. You know, if you're hardcore in Guild Wars 2, or you're more like half and half. Because like for me, like when Transistor comes out, it sucks that it's coming out on the 20th, the same day as Zephyr Sanctum. I feel like maybe Zephyr Sanctum is probably just going to be another filler patch, because I really want to play Transistor. I
saw comments about this. They were like, why did they pick the 20th? Transistor comes out on that day.
Yeah, dude, it's all about Transistor. I'm a big fan of Super Giant games, and I want it. I want it in my mouth. I like Bastion.
You always want stuff in your mouth.
Yes.
You notice that?
Yes. I'm very hungry.
Yeah, so that it's not actually out yet. It's on I see you've got it written on the list here. It only comes out on the 20th.
On the 20th. So next week, I'm probably going to be
Where does your hype for that come from? Because I feel like there's so little information. Oh, it's a sword to the top.
It's because most of the people who are excited about Transistor played Bastion. They enjoyed Bastion for what it was. They liked the art style. They liked the story around it. They liked the combat. It was overall good game.
Didn't Supergiant Games only make Bastion? Or have they done other stuff?
Yes. They're an indie group they were a big name group. They got together to make a game by themselves, and they made Bastion, and they got a lot of success.
Well, okay. They don't really have a track record then. They've got one product they've shipped. Everyone seems to be
They do have a track record because of the developers. The developers have a track record itself.
So you really have no worry that they're going to botch this game?
Nope. I'll gladly spend my $20. I'm pretty sure I'll get my $20 worth. I played the demo. I liked the demo. I played it at PAX with John Corpening.
All right. Okay.
So I played it with him, and we're both big fans. So it's gonna be good, man.
It's a very similar type of game to Bastion, isn't it?
Yeah, it's similar. No, well, it's not similar in combat, but it's similar in there's a guy narrating the whole thing,
and it's still like a top-down RPG-ish type experience, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just a totally different setting.
Probably a little bit more. Yeah, a totally different setting, totally different story, everything. I have high hopes. I usually don't do that. Like, oh, I have to play that game. I'm buying it on day one. No, but for Transistor, I'm doing that. I mean, I don't do it at all. I don't do it at all, man. I was like, I don't know. I could go without playing it. But for
interesting. So by the time of the next podcast, you will have actually played it.
Yes.
So we can talk about it next week and see what your general... And then more savvy buyers can wait for Matt to come on, and he'll talk about how much it's flopped and how terrible of a game it is and how much it disappointed him. And that will save you some money.
Yep. I should probably make that into a show. Save your money. This thing sucks. I mean, everyone has their own opinion about stuff. So.
Everyone has a version of that show, let's be honest. A lot of reviewing is just be openly complaining about stuff.
Yeah.
And then suggest you're a bastion for people for, unsavvy purchasers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So?
So I have, I had a special request, okay?
All right.
I deliberately wrote this as special request because it's not really special and it's not really a request. Okay, it's sort of a request. Somebody gave me a riddle to give specifically to you, okay?
God.
And I thought it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant, okay? Even if you know the answer instantly, which you might, okay?
Might
I
not.
feel like I would get this. I'm bad at riddles. That's the secret. I give you all the riddles. I'm actually bad at them. So even if you know it straight away, leave it till the end though, so that the audience can guess. Okay. Okay. Right.
Or we could leave like 5 seconds. They can pause it real quick.
Well, how do we hook them for the end then?
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. We have to hook them.
Yeah, it's all about the hook. See, I'm like I'm on the ball with marketing type stuff. I'm getting us reviews on iTunes. All right, here we go. Okay, what do you call a Mexican who has lost his car? Leaving it there.
Wow.
Leaving it there.
Okay.
Do you know that?
No.
Okay. All right. Don't think about it because it's really easy. So just don't think about it, and we'll let everyone else think about it. Okay. And yeah, leave a comment if you know. Don't.
Okay.
Don't. Okay. All right. So, and lastly, you tweeted this out. I want to know what the story is. You said you crashed a car with Super Bunny Hop the other day.
Right. You
want to know? Story?
Okay.
Yeah. What's the story?
All right. So I was supposed to help Super Bunny Hop record a video for him, right? He is on his channel already. It's about a reviewing early access games, right? Oh my gosh, I did so terribly with the camera because we misplayed. I was supposed to bring my tripod, right? And no, he was supposed to bring his tripod, and I was like, oh, I'll bring mine, dude, but mine's just hooked up to my streaming camera. And he was like, oh, yeah, I'll bring mine. And he forgot it. And I was like, dude, let me just go back and get it. He's like, no. He like doesn't want to bother me. I'm like, dude, I'm the one who offered. Anyways, I want to go help him with the camera stuff, right? With my camera. Because I think I have a better camera than him. So I was like, oh, yeah, I'll use my camera. What happened
Can I just clarify? I'm watching the video right now. Whenever he's talking in a live action, is this you behind the camera?
Yes.
When he sat down near his computer?
Yeah. I'm behind.
Like
I'm in his house. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Climbing in your windows, snatching your for that shot. He didn't have any lights whatsoever, so that's why it was like, oh, dude, you could have been less grainy, man.
You're like slowly zooming in. Was that you as the cameraman, or did he do that in post?
No, he did that in post.
Okay.
He did that in post. All right. So this is what happened. We were on our way back after we recorded. We went to Piedmont Park in Georgia. We came back after we recorded everything, and we had the right of way crossing the street, right?
Okay.
Now, all right. So what happened is a car was trying to turn, and it didn't have a turning lane. So don't you know you're on the far right coming down the street and you're about to turn right into the right, and we're the guys who are walking across the street while he's trying to turn. Now this guy stopped a little bit. The guy behind him, right, didn't slow down enough or didn't angle it properly to swerve out of the way. And this wasn't fast either. This was kind of slow. So the car waited for us to cross. The other guy came and whacked him in the back.
Okay.
And I was like, dude, we just caused a car crash. And they pulled over to the side. And they, I guess they exchanged information and stuff like that. And have to call the cops or whatever. And we kept walking. And I was like, dude, we caused a car crash. And, Super Bunny Hop, he's like very serious, like, no, we didn't. We had to right away, blah, blah, blah. We didn't call the car. I was like, this is going on Twitter. This is going on Twitter. And I was like, no, it's not going on Twitter. We didn't cause a car. We had to right away. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, dude, we caused a car. And it's funny because we kept crossing the street and people kept turning while we were crossing the street. He's like, see? You see? He waited. The other guy waited behind him. He didn't just crash into him like an idiot. And I we just had this conversation all the way down to the house. But yeah. So that's what happened.
I was hoping for some footage of it, but apparently that didn't make it in. So. Like a smoking wheel roll across in the background in one of the shots.
So I should just put a GoPro on my head and just record my whole life.
Dude, that is a good way to make money. Yeah, you're whoring your whole life out. Sure, you get no more privacy, but you become a sensation.
Or I can get one of those little hovering bird things. You seen that Razor? I guess not commercial. But April Fool's commercial thing where basically
I missed all this April Fool's stuff apparently.
Yeah, there's this drone that holds up a camera and you can control it and you can see your life in third person by using these contacts. Right? But, I could use the drone to follow me with a camera and it could live stream my whole life.
Or you could do what they did in that movie from Movie Club last week where we watched that bad superhero film. Sorry, that superhero film. We'll ignore the bad bit. The telekinetic guy who holds a camera around all the time. You could do that. Oh, you're disappointed. Oh, dude.
No, I'm not disappointed. No, I agree with some of your statements. I just enjoy a movie. Sometimes I enjoy a movie even though there's faults into it. And that's the thing with me. The thing is, I tend when you get older, you know what I'm saying? Okay. When you get older, you just tend to enjoy life.
All right.
And not worry about, don't sweat the small bad stuff.
But what if I want to be a picky knob my whole life?
Well,
is that not an option?
Well, yeah. Well, sometimes I'm a picky knob, so I can't really complain.
Ooh, can't say that word, Matt.
Picky nub?
Nah, knob. That's a bad word.
Nub?
Oh, okay, nub's fine. Yeah,
nub?
Sure.
Knob? What's knob mean?
You don't know what a knob is? It's like a willy. It's just another word for it. I don't even want to think about what a picky
Put your knob back in.
Mean. Wow.
Your knob is hanging out. Dude, your knob, dude. Your knob. Oh my gosh. It's great. All right. Anyways.
So that's like, we can move on to Guild Wars 2 Poop now, yeah?
No, it's called Guild Wars 2 Gold. You want to see the show notes?
Guild Wars 2 Gold announcing new subscription fee. Buy gold for access to level 90 and exclusive Chinese content.
Yeah.
Bazaar of the Four Winds all year round. I see that you put in the show notes Chinese Fear Not This Night, which I have seen. Do you want to talk about it?
No, I don't know why I put it in there. I must have put it in. I must have been like, oh yeah, this is a cool thing. Yeah,
it is cool.
It basically there's a Chinese trailer of kind of like, was it the Guild Wars 2 trailer, the Guild Wars 2 official trailer?
Yeah,
that was like real life. This is kind of like that. It's not kind of like that. It's like more like a music video for Fear Not This Right in Chinese. And it's just a woman, looking around in the forest and stuff. And I'm like,
she's singing "Fear Not This Night" in Chinese.
yeah.
You know how the marketing was for the Chinese launch? I've heard so many crazy stats about it. I heard that someone made they made like a 10-meter tall Ritlock statue someplace. That there were
they did
custom Guild Wars 2 supercars that were made.
All right,
like marketed.
There was also this big tunnel thing, or that they built outside that had a whole bunch of fan art and everything. Not fan art, sorry, concept art. All
That's
like
nuts.
that they had to walk, like people walk through. They had this big launch stadium thing, and they have NVIDIA cards and all this gear for Guild Wars 2, which I've never seen. I was like, what? What is all this? What is all this?
It's really weird seeing like images of the devs we all know and love, but they're like doing all these Chinese reports and stuff. It's like, what is this? This is crazy. It's amazing how hard you have to look to see such significant events and, you know, signs for how much money has clearly been spent on this. It's crazy. And, like, it's almost like crickets over here on our side. Only, you know, really observant fans who are, you know, diving into fandom and, you know, third-party websites are really seeing this stuff. There's so much. It just sort of makes you realise how quiet it would have been in China when it launched over here for us, you know? Right. Basically nothing. No real understanding. This trailer, do you want to talk about the original trailer? I mean, this is so much better than the one we got, right?
The original trailer for Fear Not This Night?
No. For the Guild Wars 2 launch live-action trailer.
Oh, yeah.
That they hyped up with like, the plaster and...
Just random people just kind of like doing real words. Like someone was doing graffiti and stuff. Like I was like, what is this? What is this? I mean, I didn't really like... I don't get why people go crazy over the trailer. Like, oh my gosh, this trailer's so bad. You know, it's kind of made no sense, but still, like,
it was a horrible trailer.
It was a horrible trailer. Yeah.
Horrible.
I'm trying to make it better than it seems. Yeah.
No, don't. No, they need to feel bad forevermore and be shamed gratefully for that trailer. Can you imagine how much bigger Guild Wars 2 would have been if it made a bigger splash at launch because it actually had a suitable, decent trailer? Like, who did they hire for that? It's probably a bad thing if you're ever wishing someone got fired from their job, but I wouldn't be surprised if that person got fired for what they did there. Such a bad trailer, so bad, and pretentious as well. Oh, we're breaking the mold. It's just terrible. Anyway, so Fear Not This Night is the Chinese version, and so one scene for people who, you know, maybe don't know what we're talking about, you might remember from the live-action trailer at first, there was some red-headed lady in a pool, and she walked out. As she walked out, all these tattoos appeared across her face, and then it swapped to in-game footage, and she was a Norn in the water with some friends of hers, and then it cut to all these shots that spoiled the, you know, the money shot of Zaitan at the end of the game. They did the same thing here, except it's just like a Chinese lady. They cut out all the pretentious nonsense. It's sung beautifully, man. That song is so nice in Chinese.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They have lyrics on the screen, which... Did you take the time to read the lyrics as they were going along?
No.
One of the lyrics in this song, okay, translated for us, is... Auroras make circumstance in the solitude of our life. What? What does that mean? Auroras make circumstance in the solitude of our life. Let that settle in there, guys, for a second. Think of that. Poetry. Beautiful. That's what most of the song is. It's nonsense. It's stuff like, you can always be strong. You can just cut to any point of this trailer, and unless they're saying fear not this night, they're saying nonsense. And though the night skies will fill with weakness, fear not this night, fear not this night. Though shadows fall, still the stars find their way. Okay, that one makes a little bit of sense. Darkness sings a violent song, yet our hope can still rise up. I mean, it's just nonsense. But still, I'm assuming that the translation isn't lost for the Chinese people watching it. And, you know, it's a good trailer. It shows good gameplay. It is a bit stupid as well. You know what I just talked about with the red-headed lady from our trailer that walks out, gets the tattoos?
Right.
In this trailer, she's a Chinese woman singing the song, and as it cuts, so this Chinese lady gets all these red tattoos, and you'd think maybe when it transitions to in-game footage, they would have made her look, you know, a little bit similar to her original ethnicity. No, not at all. She just becomes like this ridiculously butch, like Western Norn-looking woman, and the transition is just like awful, and that's how like the trailer nearly ends. But all that said, it's a nice trailer.
Well, there you go. There you go.
So,
Did you also see the statues for?
you've just linked me to something.
Mm-hmm.
I can see a Zodja that looks pretty Asian there. Yeah, so the collector's edition statues. Do you want? See, I genuinely want a Chinese collector's edition of Guild Wars 2. Is that like heavy fanboy territory? I feel like it is.
No. I think I want one as well. I think I look at that Shatterer.
They've got a Shatterer one?
Yeah, go down.
Oh, yeah, dude, come on. That thing looks awesome.
Heck yeah, man.
And they've got like a USB hub thing with Zodja on it.
Yeah.
Mr. Sparkles. Ritlock looking really weird and slim and stuff.
There it is.
And, you know, it's funny. People blather on about all this rubbish about how you can't have blood in China and stuff, so they had to change the colour of the UI. Why is it then that the Ritlock statue in the collector's edition has a bloody rifle with a blade on it?
Right.
It's just, like, coated in blood. Like, so much of this stuff. It's like the old panda thing. It's so stupid. People just make up nonsense.
Yeah, maybe it's tomato sauce.
Maybe it is tomato sauce. That's what they're getting at there. He's just been cutting up. He's just been making a nice salad. Nice garden salad for this hot day. Look at some of this concept art as well. Can you see, like... Oh, we shouldn't talk so specifically about stuff on a podcast where people can't.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if people did radio the way we do this podcast? Like with us, with our friggin' talking about how the layout of our rooms and apartments and stuff. Like, if that was on the radio, people would just think it's absurd and get rid of it instantly.
Well, well, let's move on then. All right, there you go. Well, the link will be in the description, of course, so you can actually see the Ritlock statue and all that. So there you go.
So China launch was pretty big. The most anticipated game in China across all mainstream China media. Blah 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 blah.
There you go.
So our next topic. This is probably the most important thing for most people playing Guild Wars 2 at the moment, and we finally got to it. 1 hour and 20 minutes in. The Festival of the Four Winds. What do you think? Do you want to describe what's going on first? And then
I feel all right. Well, what? Zephyr Sanctum's coming back?
Yeah, people don't know that necessarily.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess
start from the top.
Oh, yeah. Well, you go ahead. You're the pro at this one here. Go ahead. You already made a video.
Okay. All right. Well, you called me pro, so the start of my explanation here is going to be followed of all right. So basically, what they're doing is, because it's been a while since our last Living World release, yes, we've had Feature Pack that's given people many goals. There are also many snobs out there, or, you know, I guess they have reasonable points where they're saying no new content was actually brought in the game. Yes, it's encouraged me to do content I've never done before, so essentially it's new, but that's not good enough for these people. They want totally new content. And so, this isn't totally new. Their answer isn't totally new content. But it's been a while since we've had something. The Chinese launch just came out, and supposedly this is in celebration of it. The Zephyrite of the Sky are coming back. We saw them this time around about last year. This was during like the voting for Lion's Arch, which has now of course been destroyed. I made a prediction saying that the Sanctum wouldn't return at all, just because it doesn't make sense in the story. Why would they come back? It doesn't make any sense. But apparently in the story now they've come back to help support Lion's Arch. Again, that doesn't make any sense. Yes, ArenaNet, you can tell us they've come back to support Lion's Arch, but we need an actual reason in the patch. I'm very scared that they won't give us an actual reason, but we do need a real reason. Why do these Zephyrite care about helping Lion's Arch? They only just met them. They only just secured a trade agreement. What are you... And, you know, this time last year, the Zephyrite were basically acting like they didn't care and didn't need Lion's Arch. It was Lion's Arch that needed them. So why have they now come back? Why are they offering to help this destroyed city? One city out of many, across a whole globe worth of cities that these people potentially have been traveling to. Need a good explanation, because it doesn't make sense.
I feel like the first thought is, oh, man, they should have brought SAB instead for a filler patch other than, you know, this. And I could understand maybe this could be like, oh, okay, oh, this is what's next, but it's really not. You know, they're just gonna be heavily involved, and this is gonna be the start of season 2, and it's gonna be like this big surprise maybe, or something like that. Or it could be something that's leading into season 2 and starts off season 2 next patch and gives you like a little teaser. Either way, I if it's just a regular patch that is the same as the last patch with a bunch of mini games and whatnot, I'm not gonna care to do it.
Well, they definitely said this is not the start of Season 2. They emailed us specifically saying that. They've actually announced it on the forums as well, so I have no problems, being open about it. This is not Season 2. They do not consider this to be Season 2. Season 2 starts in June, which is about on time for 2 weeks after this release. So this is...
Not even a hint. Not even a hint of anything is going to be. This is all just filler stuff.
Well, they further clarified. I was saying that this was because of the China release or so. In China, you might expect that they would have given them Season 1 of Living World, and they'd just be like a year behind us in terms of Living World. No, China gets our Living World releases as they come out, and there'll be tweaks and stuff as they get localized or whatever, but they're going to be on par. And what this means is people in China have missed out on all the Scarlet story. Luckily, the Scarlet story can be summed up very quickly and efficiently. But basically, this is the idea now. This patch is going to be a bit of a recap for those players. It's going to include stuff that allows you to recap on everything that happened last year, get people ready for Season 2 of Living World, and namely that's going to cater to the Chinese audiences. In addition, though, to the Zephyrite Sanctum returning, there'll probably be a merchant that you can sell blade shards to. There'll be a bit of an economy balance again, I would assume. That was one of the most important things about the release last year. And also, they are bringing back the Crown Pavilion, which is probably the bit I'm more excited about. The Crown Pavilion being the giant area that was underneath Divinity's Reach that was opened during the Jubilee last year. Mm-hmm. And it will be tons of farm stuff. So it should, in theory, drop the price of T6 materials quite a lot. The arenas, the 1v1 arenas, should be returning potentially with changes. Maybe you can have another shot at trying to kill Liadri. There'll probably be a new achievement category. But these are, this is a festival. It'll be returning just for 2 weeks or so. And it's different content to play, I'm excited about it just because it's something different going on with the game and something more, another meta for me to go for in theory. And there has to be some new stuff. Like, they gave us that trailer, and the trailer shows that the Zephyrite Sanctum itself is decorated very differently. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it did last year. It's got all these Canthan decorations, and a bunch of stuff's been data mined on the game that are very Canthan-looking assets. And this is very interesting to me. Number one, because it suggests the Zephyrites have just been to Cantha, and we may get some cool little story. What was so good about the Zephyrite Sanctum last year was that they set up all this backstory with the Zephyrites to do with Glint that was really interesting. They might elaborate on that, which is going to be great in this patch. But then also, if they've been in Cantha like this, they might also do very well with backstory again and give us a lot of cool hints to Cantha. You've also got to consider from a developer standpoint, they've got all these Canthan assets that they've thrown into this patch. Does that maybe mean internally they've been working on a bunch of Canthan stuff for a long while now? All these environment artists and modelers and just so forth all over the game, that maybe haven't had so much to do?
It could be just nothing, and they're like, oh, since we're never gonna have Cantha, we're just going to throw in assets. And
they had a statement recently though that said that Cantha was still very much on the table. And that maybe, so I don't know, I'm gaining more and more faith in the Cantha idea as time goes by. I really am. I honestly am. And I think this could be, they wouldn't want anyone to know about it, but I think this could be them saying, right, we don't have enough stuff for a full release. What can we scramble together? Right, we'll bring these two back, and we'll flare it up by adding a bunch of these Canthan things that we've had ready anyway for a long while, so we'll just slap them in, and minimal dev time, maximum out value from it, and that's what they've done. That's my theory. It's complete speculation, but if that is also true, then maybe expect some cool Canthan lore, some hints and tips and suggestions of maybe us eventually going over there at some point.
Yay!
Because, I know we prattle on about it a lot, but don't you seriously think if they had made the decision there would be no expansion for Guild Wars 2, they would have told us? Not us in particular, but the community. Don't you think they would have said Living World is defeated? Or do you think that would just shoot them?
It almost. But the thing is, they already shoot themselves in the foot. They already said they've always dodged it. They always
but that's the point.
They always go with the living story strategy, which is, but the living story is the same as expansions. But you can get a whole year's worth of expansion content with a whole year worth of living story. The living story is just like expansion. They've always compared the two. Every time someone asked them about it, every single time, it's always living story. They have put themselves in this position that people think that they're not going to make an expansion and it's going to be this living world, and some people don't like that. Some people are not just keen on what's there right now. Some people want that extra content to blow through, you know, and the extra dungeons or whatever, you know, that individual person is looking for, because usually expansion brings a lot of variety, a lot of everything, like, oh, maybe a couple more dungeons, maybe a new feature, like I don't know, ships or whatever, and a new this, a new that, and then a couple more of world bosses, a couple more of this, a couple more of that. You know, it gives something for everyone. With this living world, the past couple living worlds were kind of, you know, it's from launch all the way to, let's see, before Living Story ended, like last year, you know, a lot of people are like, I don't like this living world, even though it has gotten progressively better. Some people have come back to the game and really loved it. I think that has a lot to do with a lot more, you know, the changes probably that they made on the way. They probably patched something that someone really hated or something like that. But yeah,
they might not stay for a really long period of time.
They may just now be like, okay, I think we need to make an expansion. Maybe. I don't know. I couldn't
So
guess.
still of little faith?
That they're going to have an expansion, what, this year or next year?
Next year is when I would say, in theory, they'd put it out.
Right.
I think
Next
it would be
year.
a summer release next year. That's when I think we'll get Cantha. And I do think it will be Cantha.
Oh, okay. I would hope it's next year.
We could do it like The Price is Right, yeah? So you can make a guess here. Are you just saying no forever? Or do you want to get closer or further?
I think they might try another strategy. I think they have turned away from it so much that I feel like they're gonna release an expansion through Living World for free, like they did the feature patch, like a big old patch of stuff. Yeah, I would love for it to be an expansion. Don't get me wrong.
When do you think it will come though?
I same time. If it was an expansion, I would say around next year.
So you're saying that they're going to basically do an expansion but give it to us for free through the Living World?
I think that would be a more possibility because of the way they have, all the stuff they have said about Living World and expansion.
Well, but they haven't said that they're not doing an expansion,
right,
so it's not like they'll go back on their word.
Right, so they don't have to go back on their word, exactly.
Yeah.
Right, but they have also kind of shut it down a lot and said the living world, but the living world, but the living world, but the living world is better, but the living world strategy. It's always the living world, every single expansion question. So I feel like if they might have changed their mind recently, but I think that was the idea of living world. They're going to keep on with this living world thing. But there's so many people working on this game. It feels like there should be a lot more, right? There should be something more. And
I think they can do both.
I would hope. That's what I want. Because the living world doesn't have that much of meat for me. I want some more story in there. I want some more of everything. You know, 1 hour, not less than 1 hour of, you know, voice acting and story, you know, fillered with all sorts of stuff all sorts of achievements that sometimes I don't want to do. Sometimes, you know, when it gets to that point, it kind of, you know.
Yeah.
But there you go. That's pretty much it for Guild Wars.
That's what's going on. Like last week, we were like quite open. Like, yeah, there's really not been that much news. There's been news this week. There's something coming back, but really, there's not. You know, often when they announce something like this, there's some interviews that go out, things like that. There's just not for this release so far. I'm hoping we can, you know, get a bit of early access on this one, like we did with Feature Patch, and then, you know, we'll probably have an embargo. I would love to have that, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. For now, that's really all we can offer on it. It's cool. I'm excited. But it is, at the end of the day, still returning stuff. There you go. We're on to the questions. This is where it looks bad. We're on to the questions. And, I mean, what do you guys have to say for yourselves, really, now? I mean, you should just be ashamed. I can't believe you're still listening, really, if you care this little. 2 questions, guys? 2? That's what you had available for us?
Yep.
I mean, it's just not on, is it?
The thing is, most of the questions were already answered already. So I think we have
They're just not paying attention, are they?
Viewers, they're not paying attention. A lot of them. Okay, so yeah, go ahead with it.
Look, basically, we're disappointed. We'll leave it there. Just try and do better next time, because you can't go through life like this, guys. You have to put a bit of effort in every now and then. So leave a question down below, and maybe next time we'll have more than 2 questions available.
Mommy and Daddy are mad.
There we go. I didn't even open the damn thing. That would have been perfect to stall while it was opening up. So how are you doing today?
Oh,
my Photoshop opens up.
I'm doing okay. I'm a little bit hungry.
Is it? What did you do before the podcast? You watched Land Before Time? What else?
And shamefully, I played some more WildStar.
Nah, that's not shamefully. Shamefully.
Shamefully.
You kind of make me want to play it. But it's. I just know me, especially with Final Fantasy X coming up. I can't. Damn it.
Hasn't it come out already? Hasn't it come out already?
It has, but I've been it's been stalling for multiple reasons. I bought a cable for it last week. That ended up to not be a cable that even works. I was basically scammed, and this is not the first time this has happened in my life, and it makes me so
eBay?
sad.
What did you use?
Okay, I bought a cable that had a digital connection on one side and an analog on the other. It would be like buying a HDMI to VGA cable. They just don't work. I didn't buy that. I bought a component to HDMI cable, and that didn't work. So I needed AV to components. So now I'm waiting for another cable to come in the mail, but it's fine.
Where did you order it from?
eBay. eBay's a great place to get cables. It's like a couple
but you got scammed.
It's not really a scam. They sold me the cable I wanted to buy.
Oh, okay.
It's just that they know that the cables don't work, and they're selling them anyway.
Oh.
Just if you see what I mean.
Oh.
So it's sort of a scam, but it's not really a scam. It's my own stupidity. And I'm not sending it back. I mean, hell, postage and package for all that just to send. I could get 2 quid take cable back, so it's whatever. Anyway, it's delayed it. I am so going to be playing that game very soon, but I need the next cable. And yeah. All right, the first question comes from. Wait, do we do a? You want a bell?
No, bell.
First question.
No, wait. What
first
do you mean?
Question, bell.
Oh. First. I say you want to bail. I was like, I don't want to bail on the question. What are you saying? First question, bell.
There we go. Good.
This
is like when you've disappointed your parents like really badly, but it happens to be your birthday as well. So they bring out your cake with the but the candles aren't lit, and they're sort of staring at you, and they go,
and you kind of like push it onto the table, and it kind of like whops off to the side a little bit.
Yeah, and then they just walk off. And you're just left there thinking, oh,
happy
man,
birthday,
really
Billy.
Yeah. That's the best way to discipline your kids. Disappoint them. Or make them feel bad about themselves. Jeez,
right.
We talked about this before. I think it's so bad. It's so weird. Anyway, look. Zapristo says, Dear EMVI and VPI, how much more creative can people get with those? Imagine that you find the pizza from 4 podcasts ago and eat it. All blurs. And you awake in Guild Wars 2. You can become any class you want, ally with any race you want, even bad ones, and progress the story however you want. How shall it be? Can you make more pizza in Guild Wars 2? Is pizza a thing in this game? It is, isn't it? It's veggie pizza you can get, and it's like condi damage food.
Wow. So, all right, you want to start?
That's my expertise right there. Oh, you can make a cheese pizza. Well, first of all, I would get my chefing up to level 20, and I would make myself some cheese pizza. This would give me 8% condi duration. Oh, I've got something I can talk to you about. Do you know what I tried to do last night? I tried to invent a way you can cheese Guild Wars 2 bosses, okay? Right, so, Lupicus, yeah? He wipes you, and you can't res rush in this game anymore, yeah? You gotta walk from a waypoint really far away. However, if you die to a boss and it has conditions on it, it won't reset until those condies wear off. So, I tried to create a build. Poison doesn't stack intensity, it stacks duration. So, it will stack 9 times as well. So, I got on my Thief, and I gave it as much condi duration stuff that I could for poison. And then I got an environmental weapon that applied as much poison as I could possibly imagine and tried to stack like minutes and minutes and minutes of poison on a mob. And what this means is, in theory, you can res rush again in Guild Wars 2. Everybody wipes, it's like, damn, we lost. But it's okay, the boss is still on half health, and then you walk back in, you've got plenty of time because you've got minutes of poison on him, and then you go and fight the boss again, right? Cool idea. I got up to 190% poison duration on an enemy.
Wow.
190% higher than the base. But still, I haven't managed to test it out yet, and I don't know how well it works. But yeah, so pizza gives you conti duration. That's what I was talking about. I don't know. I'd make myself another pizza, enjoy it, since that was what I was originally trying to do. And
what class would you be?
It's a hard one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. Because I was thinking, at first I was thinking, oh, it would be kind of cool to be a mesmer. Yeah, because you'd be able to clone yourself, you know, and you could do
Why
a lot
do you
of cool
want to
things.
clone yourself?
You know, you could do stuff.
Stuff.
Anyways, I think about
You know, they say Lady Casmere's clothes are butter and illusion.
oh,
She walks around naked and she just has illusory clothes.
oh my
That's
god,
a cool thing you could do as a mesmer. You'd never have to get dressed.
wow,
It's just the lazy life, right there.
I would love to have infinity stealth and never die like a thief. That could be very useful in real life. You would never die because all you gotta do is run away like a little wuss.
Infinite stealth, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. You could just run one of those stealth builds. I was thinking Ellie just because it's got a lot of versatility to it. Never be
Yeah.
thirsty, just summon some water for yourself.
All
Never
right.
be cold, just summon
and you
some
can
fire
also
for yourself.
yeah, you can heat up food. You can kill a doyak and burn it up a little bit. Like makes it nice and toasty.
Never
Barbecue,
be
homie.
in space, summon some earth for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
What's the last achievement? Lightning. And then just kill people. With
Wow.
lightning. No, you'd be an Ellie, you'd master air attunement, and you'd just start, you'd make the internet again.
There
And
you go.
computers and stuff.
You'd be
My
very
goal
useful.
would be to make Tyria back into Earth. So I can sit in my little room with my little window where I can watch people crossing the street and be on the internet. And then I'd find a mesmer and I'd make him clone you. There you go. So we could be together forever. There you go.
Wow, amazing. All right.
What race would you ally? No, we got to drag this out. We got 2 questions, okay?
Uh huh.
What race would you? What race would you ally with?
Well, I don't even know what class I would be. I mean, what race? You know, just for the sake of the joke, a big female Norn. But
Wow.
to be serious, what race would I be? I definitely want to be Char. I don't want to be a hairy cow.
Short lifespan as well.
yeah.
Norn live a really long time, so that's
I'm
kind of cool.
thinking Norn, a big burly Norn, like huge as I can get, not the tallest I can get, not huge. I don't want to be fat. I want to be like in shape and stuff. as a
Okay, you
Norn.
can be a pretty shapely Norn as well.
Yeah. So, yeah. That's the one I got anyway. Because
You wouldn't want to be an Asura?
a really huge guy. No, I don't want to be that small.
But the thing is, when you're small, you have more freedom because you can go into small cubby holes and stuff.
Well, you can,
Well,
you can
what
sit
can a
on my
gnome do?
shoulders. You can sit on my shoulders. It's okay.
I could stand on my golem shoulders as well.
But you're gonna be an Ellie. You're not gonna be smart.
Whoa, what? I'm
No-
sorry, say that again.
No,
Excuse me.
Nothing.
Excuse me.
Nothing. Anyway,
I'm about to
so-
invent the internet, alright? I have to be pretty smart to invent the internet, Interior. I'll be Al Gore, okay? I invented the internet.
I feel like I do want to be a guardian to just be like this guy that just doesn't die and be able to protect people. And I could be like that protector. I think the Northern Guardian would be pretty cool, but I don't know. Like it depends. There's different rules of being in the Tyria world, you know. So, anyways, there you go. There goes your question.
No, well, there's one more bit. What race would you ally with?
Oh, even if you're okay.
You can
Why
even
do we have to
ally
pick
with
one?
bad
Why can't we
races.
all be friends?
Well, because it's
it's the question.
partnering up. Yeah. Lagos, just because they're interesting. Tengu, just because they're interesting.
Tengu. Ooh, I would try to get inside of the Tengu wall.
I would ally with the Skrit, and I'd go to their greatest city, and they would help me invent the internet, because they're the smartest thing you can get on Tyria. When you get a bunch of Skrit together.
Dirty, too.
Not dirty. I'll teach them how to bath. It's cool.
Poop all over the floor.
No, look, they can wear nappies.
Mm-hmm.
I'll invent a toilet as well. There you go, a Skrit toilet. Are we happy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There you go.
I'll see how they live. It's not too good.
So should we move on to question 2?
Yes.
It's last question time!
Yeah! First and last, baby.
Alright, this question's from Matt G, who says, if you guys had to pick a Guild Wars 2 character to be your roommate for an extended period of time, who would it be and why? Think carefully. Casimir.
I'm so bad. No, not Casimir.
Let me ask you a question. When you read this comment to submit it for the podcast, did you immediately think Casimir? Was that like a loaded gun ready to go?
That was the joking gun ready to go, yes.
Okay.
Because Casimir.
You can't have Casimir, she's mine.
Anyways. What? What?
Yeah, no, I'm standing by that.
No.
This is me defending my woman. Slowly backing up.
Is it because she wears nothing?
No, it's because she's an interesting human being.
And
God!
you went sneak a peek.
No, that also discredits her abilities as a mesmer to suggest you could sneak a peek. What, you don't think that's a whole illusion? You don't think she can truly fool your eyes? You know, on a more sort of interesting note,
what if she
could do it in both directions? She could make you see really good things as well as bad things, or cover herself up.
So she can basically put you on drugs with the mesmer tricks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she could.
Casimir's free drugs. Roommate. I have to think carefully. As a true roommate, what would not be annoying?
Logan would be alright to be a roomie with.
He's a bro, though. I'll be a roomie with a bro.
No, but I imagine. Well, I don't know. What do you think citizens of Tyria hold for standards of hygiene?
Broham might be pretty cool. He's a pretty swell guy, I think.
Did you just call him swole?
Swell guy. No, I'm not gonna be. Come on, dude. I'm not inviting him in the house because he has really, really tight muscles, and I might see him, with his towel off.
He is rather swole. That's true,
dude. It's not bad to have a nice, sexy man meat around.
Okay.
He might break the couch though.
What?
So
just
he better have a good job. To be honest.
I would
He'd probably be breaking a lot of my stuff. Oh, can I use your toothpaste? And he just like squeezes it and sprays all over the place. Oh, can I use your comb? And he gets it all tangled with his big hair things. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think they mean by an extended period of time?
For a long time. Like not just like one day, like more like years.
Like a year.
Years. A year. That's not extended.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, what you could do is you could pick a character like
you, like Liz.
No, like Kaith, someone you think might die soon, yeah. And then you can get around it. You see, well, it'd be pretty interesting to be with a Sylvari as well, like to live with as a roommate. I may have been on Guild Wars Gone Wild quite a lot this last week. But,
whoa. What you do in the comfort of your own home stays in the comfort of your own home.
I'm in my own home.
Well,
when
you're in the internet, you're in a virtual reality right now. So make believe. Close your eyes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right now, you're in the internet room. Okay, recording a podcast with me. Right?
Oh yeah, that's so cool.
I'm touching your shoulder
right now. People will have that image. Like Pokemon where you go in the link room. I'm imagining it like that.
Yeah.
Like the link room where you go to fight. Oh, I'm touching my shoulder. It's like you're right here.
Yeah.
Skip over it. Yeah, so there you go. That's my answer, I guess.
And that's it, guys. Oh my gosh, it's not going to be 2 hours. It's not going to be 2 hours.
How long has it been since we did a non-2-hour podcast?
It's been a couple months. It's weird to say
feel
that.
Dirty almost.
Oh.
You could just put white noise in the back.
Go take a bath.
Wow. just some white noise. What do you think?
Yeah.
Or
Oh.
record whatever you plan to do after this. Right? Okay, it's 10 minutes till the 2-hour mark. Whatever you plan to do after this. You know how we do the visual adventures now? Well, audio adventures. Just record whatever your next 10 minutes are, and then people can try and guess what it is next podcast.
That would be amazing, and I wonder how many people would actually stay to listen to that.
It would probably just be you typing, right?
Probably. Or me making some lunch, because I'm hungry as heck. So you'll just hear all sorts of sounds.
And then we have to guess what the food is.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like jam. Oh.
Jam and egg.
Mm-hmm.
With toast. I don't eat bread, so.
Yeah, it was 3 months ago we last did a 2-hour podcast. Under 2 hours.
Well, there you go. There you go. Well, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Oh, no. Can't say that yet. If you like us on SoundCloud, right?
iTunes.
Follow us on SoundCloud and review us give us 5 stars on iTunes. You might get on the podcast. You know what I'm saying?
You might. Yeah, we will only read the 5-star reviews as well. I'm really muscling.
Yeah.
We're only gonna read the 5-star reviews. If you come in with some stupid joke and a 1-star review, you're not gonna get on the podcast. So, more 5 stars.
There you go.
See that double by next week.
And stay visual.
Ridlock has no pants.
Oh, you've been like clockwork.
I can't be funny all the time. No, I've got a meter, alright?
A meter.
And that meter is spent, my friend. Oh, we never did the riddle. We do have to leave it. I hope you're still recording. The riddle was Carlos.